Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and this is the Kendy Jane Beauty channel. Thank you for joining me today, and I want to remind everyone not to forget about the giveaway. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, please look below the description and I have a link to the giveaway video. So today we're going to talk about Makeup Revolution and the Revolution and the Emily Edit collaboration. The two palettes. I'm sure everybody has seen so many reviews and demos, but here's my spiel on my review. So hopefully you'll join me as I talk about these two palettes and a little bit of the controversy that's going on. I won't talk about much of that, but I will touch on it. So if you're interested in hearing about that, stay tuned. I'm not sure if everyone has seen Emily Noel 83's channel, but if you haven't, you need to watch it. I'm going to link her channel below and her video on her palettes where she explains what each color means and the whole color story, because she did such a good job of saying what the names meant, and I'm just going to link it below. She does swatches in the names. I couldn't beat her with that because she knows exactly what she's talking about, and you should watch it. It's a really good channel. Well, first of all, Emily Noel is a YouTuber who has been on YouTube for 11 years. And she started way back when she was a cheerleader in college. I think all through her life she was a cheerleader. And when she graduated college, she was a local news broadcaster on her local channel for 4 years, I think it is. And she eventually decided to stop doing that and being a YouTuber full time. And throughout those 11 years, she did everything that was happening in her life, from the marriage of her husband Tyler. He's a big part, well, he's on there doing her PR openings. He's very funny. She does vlogs. She has the birth of her 2 children when she went through that. If anybody is pregnant, and she explains a lot of things when she went through the birth of her children, from moving out of a small apartment into their house. It's just a great channel. It's just a down-to-earth channel, and the type of channel I'd love to be. Is something, one of my goals, to be like Emily Noel when I grow up, but I'm much older than Emily Noel. But anyways, she has 2 beautiful children, just a wonderful little family. So well, I'm getting off track here, but anyways, Emily is she doesn't do any sponsorships. She's just she did a lot of drugstore makeup, but now she kind of does both. But she knows her makeup. She's very intelligent, and she was approached by many companies to do sponsorships, and she never had the right thing come up. Well, last fall, in the fall of 2017, Makeup Revolution contacted her and thought about it a while, then gave him a call. And it was just a perfect fit for what she was looking for. She, she's not saying that sponsorships are bad, but she wanted to have total control over her channel. She didn't go with a management team or anything like that. But everybody's different, like she says. But this was a perfect fit for her. So, hence the 2 palettes are made. Her first palette she calls the Emily Edit The Needs. And this palette covers a whole look except for foundation, concealer, mascara, and a lip product. If you were going on a trip, you could bring this palette and you would have the whole look. She picked her favorite products from other existing Makeup Revolution palettes and put it in here. You have a bronzer contour shade, an under eye powder or face powder. You have a blush, a nice tawny peach blush, and a highlight. Then she included 6 eyeshadows. Now, I don't know, I don't use that much Makeup Revolution, so I'm not real familiar with their shades, but some of you might recognize these shades. And it has a nice little mirror on it with the names of the shades on the palette, which we all want. Now, today I have all these face products on. I didn't use these eyeshadows. I have 3 looks that I actually have done for you. This one I'll show next, and then I have 2 other looks, and I'll put in the description which colors I used. Now, this is the Wants palette. It's a huge palette. It's got 24 colors. Let's see if I can get her open. Let's see. 3, 6, yeah, 24 shades. And there's a selection of mattes, shimmers, and metallics. And I've used not all of them, but a lot of them in my 3 looks. And I find them all really nice shades. Now, if you're looking for a Natasha Denona palette here, you're not going to get it. If you're looking for a nice palette that has, these shades here are very pigmented. Now, I found one to be slightly patchy, but if you watch how you use it, it's very usable. The quality of this palette for $20 is amazing. I think the people who have given it bad reviews, I'm sure you've seen stuff in the news. If you compare it to maybe a Natasha Denona palette or a Pat McGrath palette, it's not going to be it. You know, it's just, it's better than Maybelline or CoverGirl. I'd say it's even as good as a Morphe palette. And this is an amazing price. This is $15, whereas this one is $20. I think it's a great buy. And if anybody is looking for a nice, you can do so many looks here. Now, if you're looking for a variety of looks, if you're like me and you like to see other looks that people do with palettes you have, she has done several looks. That first week, she may have done 5 or 6 looks. I mean, she did a lot. And every Friday, she has been doing a different look. She even did palette bingo with it a few Fridays ago. And great palette. Now, let me get into my looks that I've done so far and give you an idea of how these look. Now, if you decide you want me to do a look with this palette, these are some neutral shades. I can do that also. I just have a lot of palettes to do in the future, but if you would like me to do a look, I can do a look and add that video in. Just put it in the comments. So let's check out my looks that I did. Starting off my eye look, I covered my entire eyelid with my concealer, and I put a light dusting of the color, the cream, over the concealer. Then, as a transition color, I used the cool tone beige called Hobby. This is a great color to set up the look. I slowly built it up in the crease and above using my Sigma E35. Dipped into Pie Fi and built up my very outer corner and right above the crease. This color is a beautiful burgundy wine color, and I just would blend it in after I put it in the outer corner and used up most of the shade. I would blend it into my crease. To incorporate more red, I decided to dip into the color Cheer. It's a beautiful red tone. So I just applied that over Pi-Fi, and it gave it a nice different color combining the two. Then I decided I wanted to deepen it even more, so I went into the darkest color in the palette called Dark and Early. Dark and Early is a soft, rich black, and I used my Wayne Goss detail brush just to add it in, and then I blended with my E25 to get it really in there. To soften the edges, I decided to use the soft orange color called Laugh Cry, and I just blended it in. Now I'm going to use concealer to cut my crease, and I decided to do a 3/4 cut crease, so I go from my inner corner to a little bit before my outer corner, about 3/4 of the lid. Now the whole point here is I was trying to make my lid look a little larger. I could have went even bigger, but next time I'll try even bigger. But this is the size I went with, and it did make my lid look bigger because I have very, very small eyelids, mobile eyelids, and you just make them both look the same. And just take your time and use a small brush. I put the concealer on my hand and just dipped into it. Now on top of my concealer, I decided to go with Belle Violet. This shade gives you that soft violet color. It is just beautiful. And I applied it with my finger. I didn't want to use any Fix Plus or anything, but I was trying to amp it up. And to make it even more iridescent, I couldn't leave Eve Rose out, so I went with Eve Rose over Belle Violet, and it gave it a nice, beautiful look. What I'm doing here, I dipped into Oh Heavens for a nice inner corner highlight, and I also used this under my eyebrows. Finishing off my look, I used the Ardell Wispy Lashes and the Laura Geller Blue Moon Eyeliner. To prep my eye, I used the Milani Eyeshadow Primer. Then I used Laugh Cry, a soft orange. It was dusted in as a transition color. I placed it in my crease and a little bit above because of my hooded eyes. Then I just blended and blended. Then using my Makeup Geek Outer V brush, I used one of my favorite shades, Corduroy, a rich forest green color that I can blend into my crease. I really love this green color. It's a beautiful color. Then to deepen up my Outer V even more, I placed a touch of Dark and Early. This is a deep black shade. This deepened up my eye look even more. Next to the outer corner for that pop of gold color. This goes on so well, and it really goes well with corduroy. Not wanting any harsh lines, I blended between corduroy and that gold top store to not get any harsh lines. And I did this on both eyes to make sure it blended together really well. Taking my Kat Von D tattoo liner in Trooper Black, I lined my upper lids close to the lash line, and I did this on both my eyes. This is a really good liner. It's like a matte black if you're looking for that. Then I took my L'Oreal Luminous Lash Paradise, my waterproof black mascara, and I put mascara on my upper and lower lids. As you can see, I put a lot of mascara on. It really does well. If you're looking for a good drugstore mascara, I know everybody says this about this one, but I use the waterproof mascara because I have a lot of allergies, and as soon as I put eye makeup on, my eyes start crying. So this one works very well. And I cut a lot of this footage out, and I still had a lot of me putting on mascara. But this mascara separates your lashes, and it lengthens them, it thickens them. This year was a good year for mascara. Then I wanted to smudge my under my lash line, so I used corduroy, and I smoked out my look. Then after that, I took Oh Heavens, and I used this in my inner corner and under my brows for highlights. And this is my finished look. I brushed my hair, and here I am. To prep my eye, I used the Milani eyeshadow primer. Then I went with Midwest, a warm medium beige, as my transition. And I built it up in my crease and above my crease because of my hooded eyes. And I might have put a few layers of it. I just kept blending and blending it in until I had it like I wanted it. These colors blend very easily, and they're like really beginner friendly. They're not hard to deal with at all. Then next, I used my Wayne Goss detail brush, and I dipped into Love Tons, one of my favorite colors in the palette. And what I did with this one, I detailed my outer V and crease, and I just darkened it up where I put enough color that I could go back in and use my Sigma E25 just to blend it out. And that's what I'm doing with it now. I'm just blending it out. This brush is very good to blend with, the E25. Then with my Sigma E35, I dipped into the color Apartment, and this is a deep chestnut brown, and I just blended it over the other colors to darken it up a bit. Using the transition color again, Midwest, I blended around the edges of the entire eye look just to make sure everything was blended. Then on my eyelid, my mobile lid, I used Belle Violet to put a beautiful violet wash of color on my lid. First I applied it with my brush, then I came back with my finger just to build it up on my lid. And I don't have any concealer. This, without a concealer, without cutting my crease, it really shows up well. This is a good way to do it for every day. I don't do a cut crease unless I have a special something I'm going to. But for every day, I just apply it this way. Then to transition from my outer V to Belle Violet, between them I put Capricorn. This luminous brown color, Capricorn, really looks nice between the two colors, really made it blend. Oh Heavens was used for my inner corner highlight and under my brow. Then to finish out my eye look, I used the Ardell Wispies as my lashes. I used the Revlon Volumizing mascara in black. I put CoverGirl Katy Cat liner in Midnight Matte, and I used the Grande Lips Hydro Plump liquid lipstick in Red Delicious. And this finishes out look number 3. Okay, that's my looks that I did with the palette. If you're looking for a palette where you can get multiple looks and at a good price, this is the one you should go with. Now, it's run out of stock quite a few times. I'm thinking 3 that I know of. You can, it should be coming back into stock soon. She says it on her channel when it comes back. that shows you how popular it is. Now, as far as, I think some people said they had mold in the top of one of the shades. I didn't have anything like that, but don't be afraid of that. They investigated and they said it was something about the transport of the product, and it's not harmful, and they exchange it right away if you have something like that. I would purchase it at Ulta. That way it's easy to exchange. You don't have to worry about calling somebody and mailing it. That you can get it in the mail, but if you want to return it, you can just go return it at the store. That's the easiest thing, so you don't have to pay for freight or anything like that. But I didn't have any, you know, I don't know. Maybe it was a bad batch that got shipped that way, but I don't know. None of mine had any kind of spot. I think it was some specific shadow, a specific shadow. It was a light shadow, but I wouldn't worry about that. We keep eyeshadows so long, we use it and keep it for years, and you don't ever hear of anybody getting any kind of disease from eyeshadows that I know of. But anyways, this is a nice affordable palette. This is up there, and so far the palettes that I have gone through this year, this is high on the list because it's a user-friendly shadow. It's not something that is so pigmented. You have to be so light-handed, or you're gonna get just a blotched up look. This palette is really amazing. So you might want to check it out at your local Ulta, or you can order it from Makeup Revolution. I think that's the two places it's available. And I just want to let everybody know what magic links are. I put magic links sometimes under my videos, and what that is, if I say I put a link to this palette, and you click on it and you end up purchasing items. It could be this palette or anything from the click into Ulta, say for this item or any other product you end up buying. I get a small percentage, very small. I think I've been doing this since January, and I've barely made $100 this year. I mean, that's how minimal it is. It doesn't cost you any more. If you would click on mine or click on Ulta.com, it would cost you the same. You can use your 20% off. You get your points. It's all the same, except I get a few pennies to help me with my channel. And I really, those of you who have bought things through my links, I really, really, really appreciate it. I spent a lot of money on products that I review and on the products that I give to you guys. And I'm not gonna make up my money ever, I don't think. But it does help me out. That $100 might have been 1 month's giveaway. That's the way I feel. So that's what magic links are. I know some of you have no idea what that is, because when I first started watching YouTube, I would always buy off my favorite YouTubers before I even knew that they were getting a percentage of it. And when I found out, I didn't care, because I'd rather support them than let these big companies get all the profits in their pockets. But that's just me. But the people who have gone to my links below and clicked, even if you just go down and click on Sephora and buy a product, I may get like 30 cents or whatever from it. So that's what magic links are. I've been wanting to let everybody know what that is, because I didn't want you to feel like I was trying to be sneaky about things for the people who didn't know what it was. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Hit that thumbs up button if you like my video. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, bye.